Welcome, everyone, to the very first episode of Exodus Ink and Wine. I'm your host with the most, Kuner X. And here it is, Exodus Ink and Wine, Episode 0, Home Sweet Homer. Now, the reason why we're starting off on Episode 0 here in Homer is because this is my new hometown. Moved here a little over 6.5 years ago and had a couple daughters with my wife, Ashley, and we've been loving it here. Wonderful, friendly community around here. There's a lot of friendly people, great businesses to support, very artistic areas as well, as including the Center for the Arts in Homer, as well as many tattoo shops in the region. Here I am setting up some ink, getting ready to tattoo myself. Yeah, it is pretty exhausting, so usually this will take up quite a few hours of my day just to tattoo myself for 1 hour. First things first, sanitize. Get that working area as clean as you can. Cleanliness in the sterile environment helps to prevent infection, helps to prevent the spread of germs, and just as overall, you gotta have a clean place if you're gonna be doing body art on yourself, or on anyone else for that matter. I started tattooing back in 2008 after an informal apprenticeship from a good friend. I also studied under a lot of artists too over the years, as I've been getting tattooed over 20 years now. I've traveled to New York City to get tattooed, traveled to Boston to get tattooed a few times. Been getting a lot of tattoos around this region as well. Syracuse area, Auburn area. And the point of this travel show is I really wanted the first season to be involved around wineries as well as tattoo shops around the Finger Lakes. And any wineries, tattoo shops, tattoo parlors, artists, pubs, bars, etc., anyone who wants to be a part of this travel show, please reach out to me at kunerx@gmail.com or on the Facebook at Kuner X. Thank you. I had to get that out of the way. Do a little marketing here too in the first episode. But seriously, I love this region. I grew up around this area, and I want to spend the rest of my life around here. It's a beautiful, very friendly area, very nature-oriented. Plus, there's plenty of businesses and cities nearby too. And I've been in Homer again for 6.5 years. It's been a wonderful time. I really love being close to Cortland and Ithaca, as well as my old hometown of Auburn, and as well as Syracuse. So there's a lot of networking in this area, and I really want to do my best with this first season of the show and really show off the Finger Lakes, because this is a beautiful area. And if you want to disagree, you better come take a ride with me and check out season 1. I've studied with yogis, did yoga with yogis, worked my ass off, worked out. Seriously, that's health is wealth, folks. And it's important to work out every day. I mean, God, even going for a walk. Longevity is key. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yucky. It's not blood, folks. It's ink, don't worry. Well, and a little blood. But yes, this should have been about 2 years ago when I tattooed my leg. And very tender spot, very nervy for the most part. Now, one of my tattoo artists who trained me taught me to tattoo myself with gloves. It helps out with cleaning, and it's a little extra grip too. These gloves in particular have a little extra grip to them, which is really nice. And here we go again. Ooh, into that tender spot underneath the knee. Just weaving in some color, nice and slowly. Stretching out the skin as much as possible to help that stretching out that skin as much as possible so you can get that ink weaved right into the skin. Always wipe as you go along as well so you can see what you're doing. And refill as needed. With a little ink. And going in again for more. Little A&D in there. Just a little lube to let it slide on in. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hello and welcome again to Exodus Inc. Episode 0. I'm your host with the most, Kuner X. And we are here watching some footage of me tattooing myself in my home office / home studio in Homer, New York. Going in some outlining right now with some of that maroon purple. With that maroonish red. Now, normally when I tattoo myself, I usually go for an hour at most. If I'm feeling, a little healthier than norm, I usually go a little bit longer, but on average, I usually about to do about an hour on myself once every other week or so. Now, back when I was a young buck, it used to be an hour every week, but getting older does that. And today's sponsor is Angry Bunch Zinfandel. Today we're drinking a 2014 from Mendocino County. A nice little nose to it. Salud. Now here I'm tattooing with an older school style machine, the heavier ones. About a year ago I switched to the masked, the pen style tool, which is a lot easier on the hand. But for some tattoos where you're really trying to push in a little extra weight, the heavier machines do have a little extra kick to them. And a little more power compared to the pen tool that I've been using. But again, the right tool for the right job. It's going to vary. But as far as cleanup goes, the disposables, the pen style tools with the disposable tip makes for an easy cleanup, and for a much easier setup as well. Yes, the pen style tools, they do have a lot of advantages. They're lighter in weight. You can move around a little easier when you're stretching yourself to reach someone at a tough angle, if you will. Always remember to stretch that skin as much as you possibly can. Take your time and focus. And we're jumping to another time in history where I'm about to do some touch-ups of my neck. Again, this was much more challenging given the fact that I was using the older style tattoo machine and the older style tattoo machine. And it was definitely heavier, but it proved to be a challenge, but I did get a lot in, so at least this was a really good session. And as you can see, I'm wearing my comfy clothes, so that way I can hopefully maximize my time underneath the machine. Or time with the machine, if you will. Ooh, yeah, that was a touchy spot right there. Ooh. But yeah, today I'm just doing some maroonish and some blood red elements in there to kind of make it look like throbbing veins. The smiling stitches were done by Brian Simmons, aka Blackened Hands, quite a few years ago. But those little colors and those little throbbing veins, I don't know, they add so much to it in my opinion. A little extra pop. And the custom Avengers was done by an old friend of mine, Nate Switzer, who passed away a few years ago. I spun the design and I added spikes to it, and his placement was very well done in my opinion. And then Brian Simmons also did the Omega symbol behind my ear. Still keeping color. The times that I was in the sun, I definitely used a lot of sunblock, but I definitely want to stress the importance of staying out of the sun if you want to keep your tattoos looking good. An old tattoo artist friend of mine told me that, and it stands to be true. Sunlight fades skin and ages our skin, especially with the ozone layer depleting as well. Definitely a touchy spot. Lately I've been using a lot of numbing cream, such as Uber Numb, and there's another generic version I bought. I'll have to throw that on the screen. Boom! Bow! Whoop! It's basically the active ingredient is lidocaine, and it really helps take the edge off. I just turned 40 this past summer, feeling that tattoo needle more than I used to compared to when I was a young guy. So it helps take the edge off, and it helps you push a little longer. Then, more power to you. Invest in it. Once again, this episode 0 is brought to you by Angry Bunch Zinfandel from Mendocino County. This is a 2014 bottle. Smells good, man. 14% alcohol, baby. A little kick in your ass just when you need to relax. You feel me? And once again, local businesses, bars, restaurants, pubs, tattoo shops, tattoo parlors, please reach out to me at either kunerx@gmail.com or on the Facebook at Kuner X, and message me, and I'd love to have you on my show. If you're a quality, classy place, that is. Yes, yes. And back to the show. Ooh. Yep. Definitely an awkward. The neck is a very awkward area, especially the front. I remember the back of my neck being very painful, but the front of my neck being very awkward, especially for a guy. You got your Adam's apple and all that in there. Yeah, just an awkward spot, but it looks so damn cool when it's tattooed, Oh yeah, good wine. And the reason why there's zero audio with most of these tattoo clips is that I'm jamming out with a lot of heavy metal, acoustic rock, alternative rock as well. Stuff that really gets me going, juices me up, and energizes me. And I would recommend, whenever you get tattooed, if you have to bring in your iPod or headphones or whatever from your phone, crank some good music that'll mellow you out and put you in the right groove. And remember, never ever get tense or anxious filled when you're getting tattooed. You'll tighten your skin, and it'll just make it harder for the ink to get weaved into your skin. As well as it will hurt way worse if you're focusing on the pain. Try to go to your happy place. Try to stay relaxed and mellow the fuck out. McConaughey style, if you will, and it will be alright, alrighty. You feel me? And then have your alcohol afterwards, because otherwise, if you drink before, you will bleed. You will bleed way too much. So, again, go in sober. Make sure you've had some kind of something to eat, an apple or something before, or a banana to have your blood sugar up. Something nutrient dense, like a piece of fruit. That way your blood sugar won't crash. And then save that wine for after. You know what I mean? Again, you have to meditate, then medicate, and then that will alleviate the pain. Well, it'll take the edge off at least. But yeah, over the years, God, tattooed in so many shops. I've been tattooed in Florida as well. Uncle Dan's it was Armadillo Red's tattoo shop, and Uncle Dan tattooed two things on me. It was a Daffy tattoo and a Goofy tattoo right when I quit Disney, over some harassment over a couple tiny tattoos I had back then. This is 20-something years ago, kids. But, you know, things you hold on to, you know, sometimes tattoos are cool in the sense they can kind of ground you with a memory or a place in time, if you choose to remember it, you know, because that's the bottom line, yeah. Careful what you wish for, careful what you remember too, and hold on to those good memories, you know. That's fuel in the gas tank. But yeah, I've been tattooed in New York City, Boston, Buffalo, Syracuse, Auburn, Florida, and Kissimmee. Kissimmee, Florida was, God, yeah, been around, and really have been dying to do a show like this for years. Been dying to do a show like this for 20 years. Yeah, I've been tattooed all over, and done about half my body myself. And God, it's been such a great learning experience. I love the art form. It's really inspiring to me, and it's an icebreaker too. It's an icebreaker whenever I go around anywhere traveling, or even in town when someone new in town stops by. It's nice having those genuine experiences of someone being interested in you or interested in your tattoos, or just asking you a question like, how the hell did you do that? Or why did you do that? And that's human nature. And again, icebreakers are a good thing, you know? And I have zero problem with answering anyone's questions. I mean, the only time I ever get offended is when someone's hating. They're hating because they ain't us. You know what I mean? I'm taking a line from James Franco, but they hate us because they ain't us, baby. And yeah, they hate us because they ain't us. And you know, but remember the good people in your lives, the people who support you and support your passions, whatever the art form may be, or whatever keeps you going and helps you be a prosperous part of society. You got to really focus on those positive people in your lives. And you know, tattooing myself in my face is slammed doors in my face, but it's opened up a lot of other doors, and I'm glad for that, because it's opened a lot of doors for very genuine people in my life. And yeah, you gotta savor genuine. You have to really, and I stress this, savor genuinely nice people, because you know there's a lot of fake fucks out there, and you have to really have an eye for them, because they're sharks in the tank, baby, and they'll circle around and until they're ready to attack at your weakest, you know. Boom! We've all seen Jaws. Again, you have to really appreciate genuine people, genuinely kind people in your life, because if they like you, they're being genuine about it and they're on your vibe. You know what I'm saying? You do know what I'm saying. And yeah, might be the wine talking, but good times. But again, tattoos. If you're into tattoos, please keep them out of the sun. Use SPF 50 and higher, or better yet, wear fabric over the area, because there can be a tendency to have some, versus absorbing chemicals topically through your skin. You're better off trying to cover the area from the direct sunlight, if possible. Remember the importance too, when being a wine drinker or an alcohol drinker, savor that flavor. Take time to just acknowledge the present, just as if you were meditating when you're getting tattooed. Same thing. Focus on the moment and savor the moment. Homer's unique character comes from the small town, rural atmosphere, the broad, charming, tree-lined streets, a rich and varied collection of 18th and 19th century homes, as well as commercial buildings. Homer also has a Victorian business district. The very picturesque Village Green and its gazebo serve as the hub for many of the cultural, educational, religious, as well as spiritual events happening in the village. And the local library here, the Phillips Free Library, is a small yet humble library with books, computers, and even offers educational classes for kids of all ages. Plenty of businesses make up this small town, including lots of dining, lodging, shops of various kinds, massage therapists and hairstylists, a bowling alley, and as well as the Center for the Arts. This old church was remodeled as the Center for the Arts. Lots of entertainment events are held in this very intimate and spiritual spot every year, including music, theater, and speakers from all over the world come here to our tiny little town. This year I was extremely fortunate enough to see Henry Rollins speak, and had a meet and greet, and I only had to walk a block to get there, and that night was very surreal, amazing, and entertaining to say the least. Homer has lots of parks and plenty of great fresh air in this Arbor City, and it's surrounded by hills of trees from many, many angles. I was really fortunate to film these shots of trees turning at near peak. Check out the range in leaf colors. I enhanced this just a slight with some vibrance filters, just to add a little enhancement to the natural beauty of the hues. And again, I really had to show off this town as a pre-pilot episode. Lots of history here, and personal history for me. My grandparents were married right here in the village, and my grandparents lived here for years before moving to Auburn. Here is another time of one of my more recent tattoos, and this is with my new masked pen style tattoo machine, and I really enjoyed the masked style pen tattoo machine. Just the lightweightness of it, and the ability to maneuver around, because obviously I was working different angles on that side of my leg, so that really helped out in that kind of avenue. If I was doing something on like the front of my leg, the old school style machine would be a lot better as far as pushing in the ink. But being in the kind of the awkwardness of the turning of the leg, having a pen style tool was the way to go. And I am bleeding a lot that day. Damn, I was drilling in pretty good, and I used some Uber cream too, lidocaine cream, and it really seemed to help out the numbingness that is. Some good wine. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo. Again, remember, folks, save the alcohol for after the tattoo. You gotta have cheese at the end of the maze, if you drink any. Have one of your favorite beverages. If you're a straight edge, have some whatever, fruit smoothie or whatever you do. Get your jive on, your green tea smoothie. Have your cheese at the end of the maze. I mean, Christ, if you're gonna sit there and take agony for at least a few hours, you might as well goddamn spoil yourself. Otherwise, God, you gotta go through hell to get to heaven, and you might as well spoil yourself when you do, you know? And I'm just saying, for programming purposes, whether it be weightlifting, whether it be running, whether it be tattooing, whatever your passion is in life, work hard, play hard, baby, because you know what? Tomorrow's never promised. And work hard and play hard. Sponsored by Nike. I'm being facetious because I've been drinking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about it. We are down to the 3-minute mark, and I'm very happy to say, thanks for being with me here today for my first episode, folks. This is a monumental milestone and something I should have done 20 years ago, but at least I have more real estate now to kind of show off. So I think that brings credibility to the show, and I really hope and pray tattoo artists, pubs, bars, quality places, quality art places, please reach out to me at either kunerx@gmail.com or at kunerx at the Facebook. Reach out to me either way, and please schedule with me, because I'd love to film some quality places around this area, because I love this area, and God, time to spread the wealth and spread the good times. And until next time, be kind, savor your wine, and enjoy your time. Cheers. Bye. Woo! Woo! That's some good wine. Again, a thanks to our sponsor, Angry Bunch, Zinfandel. Classy wine from Mendocino County. I didn't have to read that. I'm just admiring the bottle. 14%. Angry Bunch. More like Happy Bunch. Oh, good times. Oh yeah. Stay classy.
On the next episode of Exodus Ink and Wine, Prison City, we visit the dark dimension of the studio of Brian Blackened Hands Simmons. This stylish, multi-talented macabre artist will be tattooing Kuner X's right hand. Get ready to bleed, Kuner. And we'll have a Q&A session afterwards in the Blackened Hands lounge room. With some local wine, of course, right from Chateau Dussault. On the next Exodus Ink and Wine, Prison City.